Hello, everyone. It's episode 58 of the General Damage Podcast.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
I am melting.
I also am melting.
And I'm Shane.
Fuck off. Just fuck off.
Thank you,
Fuck
Shane, for following up with that. I like, if you said you were melting, I was gonna call your bullshit. So.
Goddamn.
Oh my god, it's gonna rain for this weekend. You guys must be so jealous. It's gonna be nice, cold, and damp.
We have a 10% chance of rain this weekend, I think.
God, I'm literally just sweat incarnate right now. It is so fucking hot.
You know, speaking of weather stuff, actually.
Jesus.
This is actually really funny. The other day, I went down to the basement in the morning to do laundry. Mm-hmm. And we actually had a really nice day the day before. So, you know, out here, when there's a warm day, the next day, if it's really cold, fog usually rolls in.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And so I haven't been, I'm living in Massachusetts. I haven't been here in a few years. So I go downstairs, I go outside, and as I'm walking to the basement, I look out towards the golf course near my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see the fence because the fog's so thick. And I'm looking at it straight through like a bunch of trees, and I'm like, well, I forgot that I lived on Silent Hill Avenue. If I die tonight, I know why.
Yeah.
That is terrifying in its own right.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen that picture of the guy, like, where it's like, oh man, this pyramid cosplayer just walked out into the middle of this foggy street?
God, that is terrifying.
Yeah, but that's like every other day here in the morning. It's just constant fog. And then, of course, the other day it was like super foggy, and I was like, well, something's lurking out there. I don't know what.
Sure.
I don't know who, but it's out there.
Yeah.
God, yeah, it is. The weather we've had in the past 3 days has been nigh pleasant. There we go.
Yeah.
It's been unpleasant.
It was been in the 90s the last 2 or 3 days. Low 90s, but still. Me and Will don't like hot weather.
No, I'm from New York. Hot weather it exists, and when it does, it sucks. But it is marginally a myth. I don't believe it. I don't believe it exists. And to experience this nasty weather, yeah, I'm upset. I'm angry.
Okay, so you're gonna be really jelly then, because the other day it was a 78 degrees with a light breeze.
You suck.
It was like the perfect combination of light warmth, but enough chill so you didn't actually get hot.
You know what I am happy about? The fucking nights, because they are cold. Except for yesterday's night was not cold. The day before it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But God, the building I work in is a miserable thing. It is concrete windows and not a whole lot of insulation.
And you faced west.
Yeah, it is like working in an oven.
Yeah.
It is the hot. So like, if it's 70 outside, it's 80 in the building. So it's been 90, 95, it's been 100.
That does sound like hell.
Oh God, it is the worst. And it's just like, you know, every maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, I'm grabbing another bottle of water. And there's only like so much your body can like take in water. And like at one point I started getting nauseous. Because I just had so much water.
Oh, you were overhydrated.
Yeah.
A very rare condition, but can happen.
Oh, yeah. Also, I had an energy drink, and like I had a water. I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little tired. I'm going to get an energy drink. Had an energy drink. I'm pretty sure the heat evaporated all the water that was in the energy drink and just left syrup running through my system. Just like sludgy syrup. I felt so gross.
Oh, that sounds bad.
Oh man, and so it's just like, I'm not having soda. I'm not having soda in this heat. If I have soda, it's like 70% ice, 30% soda.
Yeah, I have. That's kind of funny because I have 2 drinks sitting on my desk. I have a glass of water filled with ice, and I have a bottle of Pepsi staring at me.
It just feels, it's just so hot, and it was so abrupt.
Yeah.
Well, like this heat change was so abrupt.
Yeah, because last week I was in hoodie most days.
Yeah, I wore pants comfortably.
Yeah.
And now even shorts are an uncomfortable mess.
Hey, I don't have that many pairs of shorts. I prefer pants, and one of my pairs of shorts now has a 3-inch tear on the back of it, so I can't wear those.
Oh God, that's the worst.
And the worst thing is, I didn't notice it until this morning when I was putting them on.
Oh.
So I'm like, man, was I wearing them like this? Because I went out.
Oh man, that is just some
bullshit. That's what it is.
Some things are better left unanswered at those moments.
Well, I can't. No, now I can't wear those pairs of shorts, and I'm wearing a pair of shorts now. And every now and then I check the ass because I'm like, okay, no tear, good.
Yeah.
And then now I have to get more shorts on top of that. And it's like, do I really want to wear that hot ass shirt tomorrow because it's May the 4th?
Oh God, yeah. I'm the pair of shorts I'm wearing are basically like my around the house shorts because they have a knife hole in the pocket because I closed my knife one day but it didn't close all the way and it went through my pocket through the front of the shorts. So like I try and avoid wearing these to work. If I'm in public, I don't care about them so much. Like nice shot of thigh there if they want it.
You said knife hole and I immediately thought, oh, it's a place for his knife.
Oh. Nope. Literally a hole created by one of my knives.
It's just a knife glory hole. Okay.
Yeah. No, you get a good either shot of thigh or boxers, depending on how things are going, depending on if I'm freeballing it or not.
I have never freeballed it in my life.
I have when it was just too hot.
Even then.
I've done it while hiking, but I was in board shorts, so everything just felt comfortable.
At that point, this is worth fucking kilts.
You know, had I had a kilt, would have thought about it.
Hey, if we go to PAX, we can get a utility kilt.
Oh God, there we go.
Not last week, but like last month,
Mm-hmm.
I had one of the most obnoxious moments with clothing problems.
Okay.
I was getting out of Ashley's truck to go to work, and I was wearing one of my older pairs of jeans, and so I just swung my leg too fast, and I could hear it, just that slight tear, and I don't even look down. I feel a draft, and I'm like, Ashley, there's a hole exactly at the bottom of my crotch. This will not be a problem. But I'm going to need you to go home and bring me some pants because I cannot work like this, especially when I crouch.
Oh, dude, seriously.
So
when I worked at GameStop, I was down squatting, like appetizing games on a bottom shelf, and as I came back up, the whole leg split.
Oof!
Wow.
From like the crotch, about a couple inches past the knee.
We'll see.
The whole seam just gone.
Wow.
We'll see. What made this funny though was like Ashley came in like 15 minutes later while I'm on shift, and I just take the pants from her, and I look at my manager. I'm like, I'm gonna need your keys. And then I go to the back room, go to the bathroom, change my stuff, and then I neatly fold the pants and leave them on a chair back there.
Right.
And when I come back out, my boss is looking at me, and I'm like, "It's groin tear. Did not want to go through the next 4 hours with that."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Thank you for the service," or something like that. I mean, it was just like there was just kind of like a nod between me and my fellow coworkers, where everyone's like, "Yeah, I get it."
Been there.
We appreciate what you've done, and yeah, I understand.
Okay, we're gonna talk about other stuff, but like this is kind of just going on this train because I just suddenly remembered this. So there's you were talking about clothing getting ruined and stuff like that, and I've had clothing ruined by paint, and I've art supplies and dogs and cats and myself. Mm-hmm. So I think everyone has a grungy pair of pants or shorts.
Yeah, I have a few.
So there is it's like the dirty man's jeans. So you can buy these jeans. They look like they're encrusted with mud. I think they're like $400.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that the guy who hosted Dirty Jobs ripped them apart.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but
he said that anyone who buys those pants are doing it because they think work is ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, my brain's dying right now. Yeah, I heard about that, and I was like, that's ridiculous. For that much money, I could buy a pair of Levi's, go take my car to, like, some area, even do in my front yard, like, hose the area till it's mud, roll around in there, and then go, like, throw paint at it for under $400.
You can do that. Yeah, you can. Okay, the cost of jeans is what, $20?
Yeah, $20-$25 typically.
Yeah, somewhere around there, $20-$25, and then you make a mud puddle and then dive on in, and then you're set.
Yeah. God.
You didn't really. I mean, if you really want to get technical, you can probably count like the water bill to that. But again, you're probably not going to even reach $100. It's just like it's not the fact of the money cost. It's just it's so stupid.
It really is.
Like the next bit of fashion is like buy these jeans that make you look like a hobo.
I'm years ahead of that. I've been training my entire life for this fashion look.
It comes down to the whole, like, this is back to the original jean argument, which is like, why would you buy jeans with tears when I have a knife?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, I remember someone was like, oh yeah, well, I got these jeans with holes in them, right? And then to prove a point, someone took out a knife and just started stabbing their pants.
Yeah. Well, okay. Will, you probably know what I'm talking about. So we have our friend Eli.
Yeah.
And she has these pair of pants that I want to say are yoga, but I don't know. And they're not tears, but
they have the cut holes.
They're cut holes.
Holes.
They're strategically holes through down the leg.
Sounds like some sort of design.
Yeah, it's a design. I'm just kind of like going, it works in that sense.
Right. I mean that's definitely, I think, a different design choice when they're going for something like that, because it is an intentionally, stitched hole that there's clearly a fold in the fabric for a hem on it. It is meant to be there.
There's a designer that he does it mostly for women. He'll basically take a woman who's like wearing the shirt right then and there, and he will, with a pair of scissors and nylon and thread, will cut the shirt, a regular t-shirt, into some sort of sexy thing.
Sure.
It's neat to watch, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, congratulations, you're kind of one act. Because to me, it's pointless, and you ruined a shirt, especially, let's say, that was that woman's favorite shirt. I mean, not that he would do that to just randomly anyone, because you're coming at someone with a fucking weapon. But it's kind of weird.
I think it's definitely, like, a very cool concept for a fashion designer. But unfortunately, the novelty on that's not going to last, because eventually other people will do it too.
Well, it took the tie-dye t-shirt 4 or 5 years to be in stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't take very hard for things to be corporate. And it's kind of happening with Reddit, where people will take conversations that happened on Reddit. They have Ask Reddit, what is your X blank, And then other websites will take the best, what they think they're the best stories of those, and put it on their site, and basically just use it to monetize it. And it's the same shit, and it's the same thing with these $400 Dirty Man's jeans. It's bullshit.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about a little something. Since we're done with the clothing thing, but we're not really, because it just reminded me, and to segue into this topic, I beat recently a game, Sleeping Dogs.
Okay.
Which was pretty good story wise. It's definitely a dated game. Like, you can kind of really tell it's dated.
Sure.
Because it came out, I think, in 12 or 13. So it has that look. Even though it's remastered, I guess, for Xbox One. But it was a good game. It was really interesting. It's a game that has way too many pointless collectibles, I think.
All right.
There are 50 shrines you can pray to. Those have a benefit. If you pray to all 50, you basically get 200% health.
Oh wow, that's a significant bonus.
It does help. If you get all 12 jade statues, which are basically the years, like tiger, ox, ram, all that shit.
Yeah.
You learn new fighting moves.
Okay.
So there's benefits, and I was kind of been running around trying to do some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things was like, because there's your face meter, which is how many people can recognize you.
Yeah.
If you get that all the way up to level 10, you get 40% of whatever you buy, which is neat. I think that's what face meter does. I forget. That could be the triad one. So there's your face meter, there's your cop level because you're an undercover cop, and there's your triad level.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I could not get the triad level up to where I wanted it. And then I looked it up, and apparently a bunch of people were having this problem. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, you need the Mountain Master outfit. And you need to collect these bits of outfit that add to it. So I had to go and find a shop that had this outfit to buy it. And basically I look like Marty McFly. Because it's a red puffy vest and jeans and a t-shirt and these sneakers. And it's like, okay, fine. It works, for the most part.
Yeah. But
the other thing is, this is a pet peeve of mine, in collectibles aside, and there's, again, a bunch of collectibles. There's lock boxes full of money, there's cameras you can hack, and it's insanity. But what this is what taking me off. Every open world game that takes place in, you could say, modern times, or in maybe even the future, basically vehicles are involved. There are like 1,000 street races.
Yeah.
It's like the most common and just the mundane thing. I can't stand it. I don't really care for it in Grand Theft Auto, and I don't care for it in this game. But there's street races throughout the whole fucking game, and some of the cars handle for shit.
Sure.
But this is the funny thing that happens. So one of the cars you can get is this experimental car. You can get it by playing missions that test the experiment, the features of the car. As a car just drives by. I have my window open, my fan on, because again, it's hot. So if you hate that noise, I'm sorry. You're not going to listen to this podcast, but whatever. Anyway, so you get this experimental car, and then, the first mission, you get basically like a battering ram thing. Like, what the cops have in front of their cars?
Sure, that grill.
Yeah, that big out fronted grill. You get that. And then the next thing you get is an EMP. You can power it up, and then you get offensive weapons, which are machine guns.
Okay.
And then there's like a guided. Yeah, there's a bunch of other shit. So if you go to certain races, you can tell right away what cars you can race in these races when you look at the people standing around.
Okay.
So you can tell right away this is going to be with motorcycles. You can tell right away it's going to be with this, and this. So I walked in, and it's like, okay, it's all sports cars. And they gave me a selection of the cars I already own, and I own a few of them. And I was looking down, I'm like, oh, I can use the experimental car? Okay, cool. And I'm like, I wonder if I can use the MP. So I'm starting to race, and I'm like, and it's really aggressive, and like they're hitting you and stuff like that. So I power up the MP, and then let it go, and I nail like 3 cars, and I keep going, and then I nail another car with the MP, and all of a sudden I look at my mini-map, and I'm going, and all the other cars have stopped. And I'm like, oh man, that's such a cheat. It was like, it was funny. I was laughing the rest of the thing. I'm like, this would be so broken if every race I could get the car.
Oh yeah. But
it was funny in those few races I did that. That was a nice treat. The game, I did beat it a couple days ago, actually before the heat. So I beat it on Monday. I didn't intend to beat it, but there you go.
Yeah.
I probably will do the DLC for it.
Okay.
It was fun. There was an interesting little side quest called the Zodiac Trial, and they made it look like a grainy kung fu movie.
Nice.
Which was funny. So I did that before I beat the game. And the ending of the game is intense.
Yeah.
Because you get tortured. There's a few other things that happen. A few characters die that I was not expecting to die. One I was expecting to die, but others I wasn't. And if you ever seen Fargo, there's a similar scene. If you know the famous scene I'm talking about in Fargo, there's a similar scene that happens in this game.
All right.
But it's not a wood chipper; it's another machine. Similar.
Fair enough.
Overall, good game. I'm definitely looking. It's like, okay. I'm gonna do the DLC. I'm probably not gonna blacklist this get all the achievements. Yeah, I always say that because I've never done it with a game. Mm-hmm. But it's like some of them are like get all the lock boxes, get all the jade statues and the health shrines, which I've done. Hack all the cameras, do all the cop jobs, do all the triad jobs, do all these jobs for this loan shark. Get 90% in every karaoke song, and there's a lot of songs.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like, do I really want to do all that? It's kind of pointless stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, with the DLC and the regular game, it's a 1,200 point game.
Alright.
Yeah, so I'm like, do I really want to do that? And like, no, I have Ori and the Blind Forest to beat, and Mad Max, and Doom.
Yeah.
And as I say that, I might go to Doom.
Alright.
I might do... Oh yeah, and I also have Shadow of Mordor, fuck.
Yeah.
I have 2 other open world games to beat.
Yep.
I have Shadow of Mordor and Mad Max.
So you have a fair amount to do.
I have a fair amount to do, but I want a shooter, so I'll probably go back to Doom.
That seems good.
And in the meantime, maybe I'll get Titanfall. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of games, I ended up beating Andromeda finally.
How was that? Fuck, I forgot my train of thought. Fuck, garbage fire.
Man, I'm kind of torn. I thought the ending of the game was actually very good. Mm-hmm. And that those last things you were doing, in the game, those last story moments were really good, and I enjoyed the ending, and I was so confuddled by the stuff prior to that point, and it was kind of like I could, there are clearly moments where they spent a lot of time and effort, really nailing, developing, getting down, and points where it feels like it just kind of was glossed over.
Right.
And it's really frustrating to look at that, because at the very end I could tell there's a good game in this mess. There's a very good game, but there were a lot of issues, with a lot of things, and that's kind of irritating. As a consumer, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there are points where like, these are reasons why I would recommend this game, and then there's just kind of like a big expansive, this is the reason why I can't recommend this game. So I came away very like confused and kind of frustrated, because I don't think the end was satisfying. You're working your way throughout this entire game, trying to set up these golden worlds to be habitable by people, and you find out there was this technology set up by this ancient race to make it inhabitable for their race they created.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, whoa, what? And you find out the friendly alien race you meet, they're called the Angaran, were actually created by this ancient race. and I was like, holy crap, that's super cool. And it has this feeling like, in the Mass Effect, the Mass Effect 1 through 3, you find out that your races are created by the Reapers, and there's a certain point where they cleanse. The ancient race ended up going into some war that caused them kind of not to finish everything, or things to go offline. But you end up they end up sending away this giant sphere that is floating in space, and it's about the size of a planet. And you gain access to it, and you go in, and imagine if you will, a spherical world, but instead of like walking, I guess, around, you're in the interior, not the exterior of this sphere. So
Okay.
if you look up, you could see potentially another continent or another mountain range high above you, but there's enough there's clouds still above you.
So it's like a snow globe, I guess?
Yeah, I guess, where
Okay.
the entire inner surface of the snow globe is a world.
You ever notice in sci-fi that the aliens always come in spheres?
Yeah, I was happy that in this case that this alien race was trying to create the perfect world.
Right.
And so it happened to be in the shape of a sphere. Go figure. But I was just like, wow, this world's beautiful. This is really pretty. And you don't. My kind of one complaint is you didn't have a one-on-one match with the final boss. You fought a system that he was attached to, but it wasn't like, oh, kill like 2 enemies and then deal with these little machines. It was like, fight hordes of enemies. Good luck, don't die. Yeah, so there was like it was satisfying. Man, I feel like there was they could have brought more from like the this end point of the game and some of the other kind of like little mid points, and kind of like incorporated all this kind of great creativeness and storytellingness throughout it. Or it feels like they had to incorporate the whole Mass Effect original franchise into one game, and it was just like too much information not spread out across the entire across a trilogy. So maybe that was one thing that they kind of suffered from.
Okay.
Yeah, but I liked the ending. The gameplay was fun. I don't think I could recommend this to people because
Right.
I think there's there are just too many technical issues that
Yeah.
are
That's-
very frustrating and very hard to overlook.
Yeah, that's what I hear from a lot of people.
Yeah, my character shouldn't pop into T-pose. I shouldn't have characters missing from cutscenes.
Yeah, nothing. No matter how good your ending is, if you told me I had to wade through like 30 hours of shitty gameplay to get to a spectacular ending,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd tell you to go
yeah.
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I felt about the ending of Suicide Squad. It was a decent ending. It was just I had to go through this slog of confusing shit. What the hell's going on to get to that ending?
That's in my mind even worse than having a game with great gameplay
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
the ending kind of falling flat. And the
Yeah.
only reason why is because it's like, well, at least the gameplay was good, right? But too bad the ending was kind of meh. Versus, oh man, I had to work through the shittiest of moments to get one payoff that lasts about 15 minutes.
It's kind of like pushing a grocery cart with that one wheel that won't work.
Oh God.
5
Yep.
miles just to go to a friend's house to hang out with them. So it's just, at the end of the line, you're like, I don't care. Fuck
Yep.
you. You're not my friend anymore.
Yeah, and I know there are a number of people that really enjoyed. I have like 1 or 2 friends that enjoyed Andromeda. Kudos to them. They as I mentioned, there are things that I enjoyed about it as well, but there are just too many technical issues that made it just frustrating, and I think that's sad.
Yeah, I get that. And heck, I have friends that prefer the prequels of Star Wars over the originals. So
Yeah.
To each their own, but those people are wrong.
To each their own, definitely. In the case of Star Wars, yeah, those people are wrong. In the case of this, I'm not going to fight you on it. Yeah, so I guess my kind of end feedback is play Andromeda at your own discretion. If you think it sounds interesting enough, kudos. If you hate, the game, falling apart on you, and if you feel like that takes you out of the game experience, don't touch it. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
There's too many other games to play at the moment that I want.
God, there really are. Speaking of one, Prey's coming out soon.
Oh yeah. When you guys listen to this, it's already out.
Yeah, it'll already be out. I totally missed my chance to play the demo, I think, but I watched Ray from X Achievement Hunter.
Brown Man.
He did a Brown Man for those who know him as that. Did a stream of him playing Prey, and holy crap, that game looks great. It is the BioShock in space that it reminds me of System Shock in ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people are saying that there's a lot of correlation to System Shock and BioShock, and it just has that feel.
It really does, and it's the atmosphere. The fact that the enemies, albeit just look like these kind of weird four-legged black mass octopus thingies, the fact that they can become anything.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can pick them up by accident.
Oh, yeah. That you just could walk into a room, kind of, look, gauge the room, like, oh, there are no enemies, and turn to your left and hear movement and turn back, and all of a sudden there's a lamp closer to you. That shit's freaky as hell.
That ability the aliens have is interesting, but when I saw gameplay of it and stuff, like it was like a news report, I hated the alien design. Like, I know you said, okay, it's kind of whatever, but like for me, it was kind of, I don't know. I've seen spider aliens before.
How much of the gameplay did you see? Did you see to the point where they got to the humanoid versions?
I saw some of them. Yeah, I just the designs just weren't impressing to me.
That's
Not to say that like reflects the gameplay, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of a boring design, like how they move and how they're constantly look like they're in static. It was just kind of, I've seen that before. What was the fucking Tom Cruise movie? Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat.
Yeah.
The enemies were similar in that, where they kind of moved very jerkily and looked like they were constantly phasing out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a human who's never met an alien, I think there's a few people in the Midwest who are different from me, I guess. I just insulted half the country, alright, fuck it. Or a portion of the country. It's hard to figure out what would look alien to you. Because we're governed by certain laws, and it's partly the uncanny valley thing. You know what I mean? Where if it doesn't look right, we won't like it. Our brain says something's off.
Yeah.
But there could be an alien race out there that I mean, in realistic terms, is kind of uncanny valley to us. And that just can't be replicated in fiction. So it's just one little complaint. I still would like to play the game.
Yeah.
But it's just like, design-wise, I'm not impressed by the alien looks, because I've seen it before. But I am, a sci-fi game in space where John Kennedy did not die. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
I really like it just because it it changes the entire setting. Like, I didn't know that was the case until I was watching a trailer at work. And they were like, JFK, at this point in time. And my boss was like, huh. that means Kennedy was assassinated. I thought about it, and I was like, holy shit. Kennedy lived through the space race.
Yeah, Kennedy, when was Kennedy elected? His first term, he got assassinated, and I have to look this up now, otherwise it's going to bug me for the rest of the hour and a half. I want to say he was killed in 63.
He was.
So
it was November 22nd, 1963.
1963?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was sworn into office in what, 61?
Yes.
So let's say he was a two-termer, he would have made it to 69.
Yeah. And the space station that the game takes place on was completed in 71.
Yeah.
In 71?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I think that's one of the things. 71 or 79, somewhere around there.
When was Apollo 11? I'm curious about history now.
Well, so, anyways, to get to my point while Nick tries to figure that out, what makes this really interesting, too, is, like, the fact that, okay, so now we're living in a world where Kennedy didn't die, and apparently that means our space exploration advances to the point where we have a stable space station.
Yeah.
In the 70s and early 80s, like, that's wild in itself, right?
It's very cool.
And actually, that's always one of the things I've liked, because people say this is like BioShock. It's like, I love how they take the simplest nuances of, like, of just messing with, like, a little bit of history, and that's how they create their setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you can avoid a lot of bullshit, too.
Well, I mean, that's why I really liked, I think out of everything in BioShock Infinite, my favorite thing was the setting.
Oh, it was the 1912?
It was
1912 in Colombia?
Yeah. It was 1912, it was Colombia, and it was basically a world where the Civil War turned out in favor of the Confederacy.
Right.
And that was just really interesting, because it's like, okay, what would the Confederacy do next? Oh, we'll just erect a city in the sky.
Yeah.
Like, that made sense. But that was like...
Yeah. So Apollo 11 took place on July 21st, 1969. And I don't know if he would still be president. He probably was on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
But the president that saw Apollo was Nixon.
All right.
Yeah, actually, cool. It was like 7 months after Nixon was sworn into office.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm pretty sure, like, John F. Kennedy was like, he probably would have saw the space station in Apollo and the space program be propelled, years, because he probably would have funded it a lot more. Yeah. He would have seen Apollo and 12 and maybe 13. Maybe 13 wouldn't have been a disaster. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff you can talk all damn day about alternate history.
Right.
Well, I mean, the other thing that they're doing with this one is, this is a world in which we meet extraterrestrial life before, like, the 90s. Like it's like what, I think it's 1970 in the trailer or something. They're like, oh, that's when we met the first non-terrestrials. And that's an interesting concept in itself too, because it's like, at the time of the 70s, we're not necessarily we're just before the big internet spike.
Yeah.
Like, we're right before home computers and all that stuff, so it's like, to meet aliens then, when I guess you could say we're at our most premature.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting concept to me, because that would change the way we do everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Now, granted, I'm going to pick up this game tomorrow.
Oh, so jelly.
I'm probably going to end up pissing myself at least a few times, because the game's going to jump scare me, and I'm a giant chicken.
Yeah.
I definitely do want to pick it up. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up immediately, or I'm going to wait a little while before I pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
See, I hope, because the game is an RPG in its own right.
It has its own element of RPG.
I'm hoping that there's a buff specifically for shotgun radius. Just so I can widen it enough where I can just point the gun in the middle of a room and fire, and then hopefully kill something before it gets me.
or at least jar something.
Yeah.
Right?
I think a shotgun won't do that. I think you'll have an ability to see.
Well, I mean, you'll be able to get psychic abilities in this game.
Yeah.
That's what they've talked about. Which
you get them pretty quick.
I think the one ability that I'm probably going to use the most is the one that stops them from transforming into shit.
Oh, interesting.
You could basically stop them from doing that for a short period, is what they said.
Huh.
And I'm going to be like, nah, you can't be a coffee table, fuck you.
Dude, they're way more devious than that. They're like, oh, alright, there are 2 touts here on this sink. Huh. Can't be an alien. There are always 2 of these in every bathroom. And you fucking turn around and the damn thing jumps you.
Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of that really, have you ever seen that, like, that little comic where the wife's like, why do you have your house, gun in the house? And the husband goes, Decepticons. My wife laughed, I laughed, the toaster laughed, I shot the toaster. It was a good day.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
I have seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like this game's gonna end up being.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's alright, I'm gonna take my wrench and I'm just gonna walk into a room and just start swinging at things. And pray I have enough stamina to do it.
You break everything. Someone walks in. Why'd you break the copier? It looked at me weird.
It shifted just once, and I made it not shift ever again.
Of course, most copiers you want to take a wrench to it.
Yeah. I do love one of the first weapons you pick up in the demo is a fucking wrench. It's just so classic. It's so good.
Iconic.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to think about that. Okay, so Gordon Freeman had a crowbar.
Mm-hmm. Main character from BioShock had a wrench.
He had a monkey wrench.
Yeah.
And this guy has a... Is it a monkey wrench or just a wrench?
It's some space age wrench.
Okay.
I want to say it's monkey wrench like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other iconic weapons like that.
Booker had the grappling hook or the rail thingy that could snap people's necks when you grab them.
Yeah.
God, that was some vicious shit.
That was some vicious shit.
What are some other? I mean, Master Sword, the beam sword from Halo.
I'm talking weapons you get right away. It's like your only weapon.
Oh, the first weapon you ever pick up.
Yeah,
That's iconic. I want to say those are the ones I can think of right off the bat.
Yeah, it's. And notice it's all tools you use on a car in some capacity.
There's something to be said about a main character who isn't a soldier. It is that typical kind of run of the mill. It's main character who's not a soldier grabs an unconventional weapon and treats it as a conventional weapon.
Yeah,
there's something iconic about that, and it's just I think for an audience. For your average Joe, it's easier to empathize with that character than the gritty soldier who grabs their M4 carbine that they have just lying around for that need to have moments. There's something there's a disconnect with that second character, whereas the first character it's look around, grab a weapon grab the first thing that looks like a weapon and prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
Whether it be a broom or a monkey wrench or a crowbar or whatever.
That's every zombie weapon.
Oh, yeah.
There is... I do have a perfect weapon in mind for... I don't have it, but I know... It's basically, imagine a 5-foot-long crowbar.
Okay.
It's heavy. It's like solid steel, and you use it to basically break up the It's got a pointed end at one end, and you use it to break up concrete, stab at it to put in a post or fence, and then on the other end, which is kind of like a chisel that helps break up more concrete and lift it out.
All right,
and it weighs about 15-20 pounds, maybe even heavier than that. So
enough where it has force to it, but not fucking heavy.
Yeah, it just even swinging that thing, you're gonna hurt a motherfucker.
In was it World War Z? The weapon they ended up making was basically they improved the shovel.
Yeah.
Made that made it for both digging trenches, but also as a bladed weapon.
Yeah.
Practicality kind of takes point, I think, in a zombie apocalypse.
They could have done that movie so much better.
I know. If you don't think of it as being World War Z, the book feels okay.
Yeah.
If you think about it being they mucked that up horribly, then it feels real bad.
Everyone wants to blame Brad Pitt for that, but I'm like, I don't begrudge Brad Pitt. I like him. He's a good actor.
I honestly, again, this is why I think if, you don't go, alright, they took the book and this is what they came up with. If you don't look at it as that. If you look at it as World War Z, it's actually not a bad movie. It's terrifying, some of the shit that happens.
Yeah. But, you could have had Brad Pitt in a World War Z movie. He could have just been the reporter interviewing people.
Oh my god, I would have loved it. I actually thought,
and then you have then you have the flashbacks and stuff, and they probably would have arranged it so it's more about Brad Pitt and his internal monologue and blah blah blah, brood, but they could have done so much better. Well, whatever. I'll probably get Prey at some point.
Yeah.
Back to the original subject.
I'm with you. We'll see when I have the ability to pick it up, because I am excited for it. It looks like a great game.
Anything you want to say more, Shane? Or?
I mean,
you'll give a report next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it and I'll let you guys know. Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly right now the only thing I'm trying to figure out is, do I want to play Morgan Dude or Morgan Lady?
That's fair.
I always go lady in some of those types of games if I'm given a chance. Just because I played the dude before.
I typically go with my gender, but that's just me.
Well, see, so Ashley wants to play it too.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to end up playing dude, and she'll probably end up playing lady, and we'll just watch each other play.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, do it that way.
I know, right? Also, you just got me thinking real quick, Nick.
What?
About starter weapons.
Uh-huh.
And the one thing I always appreciated was in Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, the wrench.
Your best weapon was the fucking wrench because it didn't need to be reloaded.
Yeah, it didn't need to be reloaded, and unlike the other three that we mentioned, he actually used it like a wrench.
Yeah, that was half the game.
Yeah, that was half the game, because you solved a lot of puzzles with him screwing shit in.
Mm-hmm.
Or unscrewing it.
God bless you, Ratchet. One of my favorite characters.
Dude.
Yeah, same. Definitely. If I had a PS4, that would be on my list.
Ratchet and Jack. Love them both.
I really played the Jack games.
Between the two, I played Jack and Dexter more, and man, love those. Love that franchise.
Did you know that if you pre-order the Uncharted new game, it's like a side game, you get digital codes for the first 3 Jack and Dexter games?
Oh my god, that is awesome.
I need to double check, but I think that's what you get with it, and I was like, I would get it just for those.
Right? I would too. I really would too.
It's up to you. You really want to do that.
There are too many things coming out.
Yeah.
Prioritize, I must.
Yeah, same.
I gotta get a phone first. How about that? Let's work on that one first.
Really quick. I don't want to talk super long on this.
Huh.
I've put 102 hours into Persona 5.
Jesus.
Have
you beaten it?
I've been informed I have about at least 30 to 40 hours left.
Oh my shame. To be fair, though, I would not expect any less.
So here's the thing. It's not that I expect any less, but I've gotten past the halfway point.
Yay.
And there was this really cool, Ocean's 11 moment.
Alright.
That's that's the
for
halfway.
A big heist. Yeah.
It's kind of like the big plot twist is it's really Ocean's 11.
Okay.
And I was like, that's really cool. Oh shit! Wait, the ending better be amazing because that was the best part so far.
Yeah.
And for the last 10 hours, the game's been telling me this is our final mission, but it hasn't been. So I'm just kind of like, this better be fucking huge. This better be I better be mind blown, posting shit about this.
Yeah.
I will say this much: I'm really impressed because I got the game when it came out, right?
Uh-huh.
a friend of ours actually, Crystal, she got the game last week.
Yeah.
She already beat it.
Oh, she hasn't been sticking around like you.
I think she may have just powered into it.
Yeah, or unless she just didn't sleep for 2-3 days.
I can see that. She's a huge fan of the series, but like my assistant manager at my store, he just beat it, and it took him about 130 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
My buddy beat it last week. I didn't even ask him how many hours he'd put in.
Yeah. So just a little update there. I mean, I need to beat that before I play anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I will definitely at least do the first 3 hours of Prey.
Sure.
Just
For
because
sure.
I can't help myself. Like, it looks so interesting.
Yeah. First, you say, okay, 3 hours of Prey, and then I'm going to quit, and 6 hours go by. That's me in most Far Cry games, with the exception of 2, which pissed me off.
Yeah, that's understandable. 2 is kind of a miss for many people.
Let's give you malaria. Isn't that going to be fun? No.
Seriously.
So, I hate this, but I don't hate it, but I just hate how these stories come about. So, it was apparently leaked, which is bullshit, because everything was ready. But it was leaked that Darksiders 3 was coming, and it came.
Yeah.
Which I was excited about, because that's a game I really thought was dead.
Dude, I
Our franchise is dead.
Yeah, I was super stoked to hear that we are getting the third game.
Yeah.
I like it because I've played 1.
Yeah.
And
I
watched
played
Ashley,
it and never beat it.
I watched Ashley play 2.
I want to play 2 now. Because I've never played 2. I have 1, and I played the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
What always got me was I've seen the art book for 2.
Yeah.
And they've got crazy concept art and shit for all sorts of characters you haven't seen yet.
Right.
And Fury was one of them.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I hope they come out with another one, because this game is great. There's just so much you can do with it. And now you get it. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. When it said it was leaked, I was like, it's not really leaked. It couldn't be.
No.
Well, they said it was leaked, and then all of a sudden, I get all these notifications on Facebook, Darksiders changed its banner logo, its cover photo, Darksiders changed its profile pic, the Darksiders 3 announced, IGN first, all this shit.
Right.
Yeah. The funniest thing is, though, Amazon is the thing that set it off.
Yeah.
Which I think the people at IGN were pissed off at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were IGN, the leading provider in gaming news, and fucking distributor was like, nah, we got you.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed too. I think
I'd be pissed.
rightfully so.
Right now, its tentative release date is
December, right?
December 31st, 2018. So I don't think we'll get it this year.
No, we definitely won't. I do like the team that's working on it.
It's the same.
It's the same team, just different company. I'm so happy to hear that.
It's so many games came out of THQ, and it's where the hell do they go? Are they dead? Are they not? I mean, I'm surprised we have Dawn of War 3, which I didn't think we were gonna get. I still can't play it because, again, my computer, which I'll probably complain about until I get a new one. We got that one. We got we're getting Darksiders 3. It's okay, who else bought what? Let's keep it rolling, because I know there's a lot of properties that THQ had.
Yeah, and the fact that THQ Nordic is still going is kind of great news. We still got one out of it.
I honestly feel that THQ Nordic is the last stand of THQ.
And to be fair, what they've shown off, what they were showing off at PAX last year, is solid. It looks solid. So I think this is a good last stand. That this is the last bastion of THQ that we have. Yeah,
it is.
Just from what I see about this game, right? It's what I'm really happy about is at least this release of the trailer and stuff. The game's really far along.
It has that feel.
Yeah, like, I would be super pissed if I was seeing stuff where it's like, still in development, like, at the bottom of the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, like early alpha stuff, like, that would not jive. But, the opening cinematic, especially with War all chained up.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for War. Out of all the video game characters that get shafted,
I mean, he
got like super shafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really happy to see the third game, because we're gonna get the conclusion of why, how War was framed. We're gonna get a hell of a lot more of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean,
either way, I'm fucking happy.
Well, from what they wrote in the art books, because the art books actually had really a lot of segments about characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that they wanted to do a game for each horseman.
I'm fine with that.
Because we still, we have War, we have...
Fury, Death, and we need Strife's game.
Yeah. And...
Strife.
I don't know. I think, plans can change, but when THQ announced the first Darksiders, they said it was going to be a trilogy.
Right. That's what they had originally stated, that the third game would conclude the story.
Yeah. But I don't think we'll get Strife. Strife might be the asshole behind it all.
That could be it too.
Which seems interesting, because we're gonna theory craft here a little bit. I think it's weird that it's Strife is the bad guy, because in Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2 you acquire a weapon of Strife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think in Darksiders 2 you don't acquire one of Fury's a weapon linked to Fury, but I think in 1 you may acquire a weapon that's linked to Fury in some way. So
Can't remember.
It kind of leads me to think that maybe Fury is the cause of all of this, which would be interesting. That you play as a the protagonist of the third game is Fury, but she could be the overall antagonist. But again, we don't know.
She didn't really care that War was chained up, so...
I mean, she viewed him as a piece of garbage.
Well, I mean, that was also stated in the second
Pathetic.
game, which was Death is the only person on War's side.
Right.
Because Death and War go hand in hand.
Right. They're always constant. It's the other two horsemen that are in flux, whether it be Strife, Fury, Pestilence, Conquest.
It's the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and the original four horsemen are Death, War, Famine, and Pestilence.
Something like that. Yeah.
So they changed. They kept Death and War and changed Famine and Pestilence to Fury and Strife.
Right, for this particular game, but
for this particular game, I don't think there's any more horsemen.
Well, no, the over the course of all human history, the middle two horsemen, those names change so much that there's sometimes where it's there's Pestilence in one, and then there's Conquest in another, and there's Strife in others. So
I think
there are many iterations of those two, but the two common ones are always War and Death.
Well, I mean, if you look at the art, they kept the colors all the same.
Oh yeah.
There's the Red Rider, the White Rider, the Black Rider, and the Pale Rider. So and honestly, I actually don't think Strife is the guy behind it.
Right.
I don't think it's any of the horsemen, and the only reason why is because at the start of Darksiders 2, the whole reason why War gets in trouble is because he starts the apocalypse before it's time, right?
Well, yeah, but he's tricked into it.
Yeah, because he sees the first sign.
But the final seal is broken.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think the horsemen have the authority or the power to do it. Because because War has to go through a whole bunch of shit, and he has to power up Belial.
It's why you kill one of the angels, because they ended up breaking the seventh seal. Early. So there's clearly conspirators in heaven who intentionally start the war early, but you can tell that it's someone else caused this to happen.
Not Belial, it's Samael.
Yeah.
But so, like, I think honestly, if this is the last game, I think it would be definitely interesting if it was Strife as the bad guy, but it just doesn't make sense. At least from... Because I remember in Darksiders 2, basically, not really spoiling the game, but Death's quest is kind of like... not a Red Robin, but like kind of a...
Red herring.
Yeah, that's it, Red Herring.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Red Robin has a delicious burger.
There you go. Yeah, it's basically not necessarily a pointless quest, but it's definitely a quest that ends with more questions than answers. Like it's basically like that. Oh, I want to. It's like, oh, I'm going to prove my brother's innocence. Wait, why are you all in this room? Like, it's like, why is everyone looking at me? But, I mean, I like Fury's design.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I like her whip.
Yeah,
the whip. I think I'm gonna love because it's like, oh, I can turn my enemies' weapons against them.
And
sweet.
Her fighting style is using the whip and magic, and that'll be interesting. And apparently, she has different forms depending on what magic she's using. So that'll be interesting to see. You know what the forms are and kind of how they interact with things.
Yeah, and she'll also get different weapons. She'll also get different weapons too.
Well, I mean, in the first one, how I always felt about it was kind of like Legend of Zelda on steroids.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's a lot of people said that it was Legend. I mean, it's very Legend of Zelda. There's a lot of puzzles and shit.
Watching Ashley play number 2, it was very much more of an RPG.
Right.
There was a lot more stats and stuff, but it was still very hack and slash. What I like about the idea of Fury being more of a ranged character or relying more on magic is I'm actually like, besides the weapon, like it's kind of like very Castlevania.
Yeah,
it's relying more on like a very different set of strategy, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it looks. I'm again really happy to hear that we are getting a continuation on this series, and that it's from the minds of the original developers of it. Like that's so you don't always get those stories of like X developer worked on X game and they where the company either fell through, they had to quit, and they never got to continue that dream. And it's great to hear that. It's really satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they remastered the original for Xbox One, and I can get the Darksiders 2 as well on Xbox One, so I might do that down the road.
Yeah,
I have at least a year to play both those games again.
Right.
Honestly,
I want to play 1 because it was interesting and fun and get through it, and I want to play 2 because I want to see the reimagining of Casey Jones.
Oh yeah.
Tell me he doesn't look like Casey Jones.
Oh no, it definitely does.
He totally is.
On Steam, you can pick up Darksiders 2, the definitive edition, for $5.99.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's currently, so it's gonna change, y'all. But the offer ends in about 13 hours, so it's one of those like I may pick it up because it's like $6, because it's just like, why not? That's such a fucking great deal.
I mean,
I don't know if I can play it on my comp, but probably on my Xbox.
I highly recommend it, Will.
I mean, I loved the first one, so like...
I liked it too, I just never beat it.
I beat it, and the final boss is very satisfying.
Final boss fucking took like 12 tries.
Fuck
that shit.
Is it more satisfying than the Diablo fight?
Yeah.
Fight with Diablo and Diablo? Okay.
Honestly, I think... If I was to go back, I would probably just play 2 at this point. Though, granted, Darksiders 1, I actually would recommend it to a lot of people who just want to play, like, if they're not really big on the series, I would recommend just playing 1 purely for the fact that it has some of the best level design for a game. And it came out on the Xbox 360, or that generation, right? And I remember playing it, and I was just like, man, this world is great. It's both open, and it gives me hints at what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, and it makes me want to look around. and it feels like a fucking like the way they shape the world. It's supposed to be the world after the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's just it's great because it's like really dark, gloomy, and then all of a sudden you go into these vibrant landscapes.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a game of like great juxtapositions between color and style. Like it's fucking awesome.
Also, Mark
Me, the
Hamill's in the
Dwarves
first
was-
one.
Yeah,
he's in the second one too.
Oh, is he
that's
in the
right,
second one?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he plays the same character.
Oh, awesome! It's such a great character.
I like seeing the dwarves or the giants, whatever the fuck they were. They were interesting.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the design is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I might just pick up the art book again because it's fucking.
yeah. There's something for you.
I mean, like, I love the look of that game alone. Just like looking at War.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking beautiful character design. Really interesting.
Yeah.
He looks great. His like again, as you said, the detail in the characters, the world for these games is very imaginative and this great, vibrant gothic horror.
Yeah.
That it's just fantastic to look at.
I think we talked about to death for the time being.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, once we get more info.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's two things. What, were you going to say something, Shane?
I was just gonna say this is on my E3 watch list. Easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely see a lot next month.
Oh, I definitely agree.
Yeah. There's two things that I want to talk about. I'm gonna do real quick my summation of American Gods,
Okay.
Sure.
and then we can talk about Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So I watched American Gods, a show on Starz Network. They really like to play with the cinematography in this game. It's a very vibrant game. I mean, show.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm on one track. It's a very vibrant show, and they like to play with the cinematography here.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just a lot of weird shit that happens, and there's some things I can describe, but I think you guys just owe it to yourself just to at least watch the first episode.
Okay.
And when you watch the first episode, and you get to a point where you're meeting a character that has nothing to do with the main character at the moment. The main character's name is Shadow Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Sheen's character summed it up perfectly. He's like, your mama had a big ass afro and was a hippie, huh? And he's he kind of just like yeah, she was. But it's a really I like the acting in it. I think is great. The effects in it are awesome. The camera works great. There's a part in it. I'm just gonna say this: you meet a character, and there's a scene that happens where this one guy is technically, you could say, for lack of a better word, eaten. But as he's eating,
I know what you're talking about.
As he's eating, he came.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm just gonna leave it there and go
Nick, I already know what
find
you're
it
talking
and
about.
yeah, go find it and watch. Did you see?
I read an
Did
article.
you watch? You read an article? Yeah.
I read an article because, but more or less because it was a very interesting scene, and a lot of people who read this book were like, "How the fuck are you going to do it?"
They did it. They're on Stars. They can do that.
All right.
So go watch American Gods. I'm probably going to start watching it more now. It's only the first episode. The first episode is like 75 minutes with no commercials and shit.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting show.
All
I was wondering, like, oh man, how Star is going to replace Black Sails? Going in a completely different direction. That's how they're going to replace Black Sails.
I mean, that's pretty good. It's
yeah,
smart design for them.
It's just there's something like about the camera work and everything there that's just I don't know. You watch it and you tell me.
Sure.
But yeah, holy shit. I'm just gonna say that. And the Irishman that I forget his name. He's an interesting character as well. There's gonna be a lot of shit that's just gonna come out of fucking nowhere and throughout this whole show, and I'm like, okay, let's get ready for that acid trip. But yeah, American Gods. Give it a watch.
All right.
For real. And anyone listening, give it a watch. Because for me, whoo boy.
All right. I'll definitely have to give it a watch.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. because that particular scene was, oh boy. I was watching it in a stupor, and they get to that scene, and as it's happening, I just kind of like, I literally, you know how they always say it's edge of your seat entertainment? I was like leaned in all the way on my couch just going, did that just happen?
Sounds like some quality programming.
Okay, yeah, don't watch it with kids. Unless you start wanting to explaining certain things.
No problem there. Alright. So, Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Dark Tower. I have never read the books. I know nothing of Dark Tower, but this trailer made me want to pick up one of the books.
Yes. I know very, very little about the series, and watching this trailer, I think my brother has a copy of book 1. Makes me want to sit down and read it, because damn, their actor choice is fucking smart.
You know, besides the shitty-ass Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I can't think of another movie Matthew McConaughey played a villain in.
Huh.
Asshole, yes, but not villain.
Right, but not a villain.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
Oh,
Dude.
shit, what?
So,
Yeah, that recognizes... Oh, man, wow. Huh.
I'm looking at the list of books for the Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah, it's...
The first book came out in 82.
Yeah, it's been remastered, republished, like 1 or 2 times, I want to say.
You want to know what's the most interesting thing, though?
I know it's graphic novel for a while.
It's 224 pages.
Yeah.
It's the shortest book on the list, but interestingly enough, the 8th book is the second shortest by 336.
Huh.
But book 7 apparently is 845.
How many books are there?
8.
It's a meaty thing.
I might at least pick up the first book, because like 224 pages.
Yeah.
I could destroy that in a day.
Yeah.
I depending on how much time I have, it's definitely like a read I can spend a couple days doing.
$8.99 on Kindle.
Nice. I mean, that's a good deal, man.
You know what's probably going to happen? I bet if I go to a bookstore in the next week or two, they'll be like, "Oh, buy the 8 books of the Dark Tower for only $29.99."
Probably.
On Kindle, I think you can get, it looks like 3 of them, but maybe it's all of them for like $70.
Not bad.
Buy the 8-book bundle for $71.92.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
Apparently, Marvel did the comic book series.
Interesting.
I'm not surprised.
Well, so it was either going to be Marvel or Dark Horse. Is going with one of those two. Yeah, and just, looking at some of the imagery and stuff, looks real good in of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to pester my bro about it, because, Idris Elba is our main character, and Matthew McConaughey is our main villain. Like, McConaughey felt very good as the villain.
Yeah.
Like, that just kind of, like, smooth-talking, charismatic villain.
Country boy villain.
Yeah, the villain that you love to hate.
Yeah,
think
exactly.
they cast him right. So, yeah, man, I was really excited that this trailer dropped, because I'd heard that they were looking at doing this as a movie.
Well, yeah, but it was like, oh, they're gonna make it, or they're not gonna make it. This
Right.
person was cast. This person fell out. This director was cast. No, he's not. This writer, this script was thrown out. It went through development hell.
Right, and so I'm hoping that even though it's gone through development hell, that it ends up being a really good movie. That it because we were talking about it earlier. Suicide Squad went through development hell.
It didn't really go through development hell. It went through development rush.
I mean, that's a hell in of itself.
It is, but development hell, when most people talk about it, is like, oh, hey, we want to make a movie, we want to have it come out in 2008, and it's now 2017.
Yeah, I guess that's the typical development hell, but
yeah, that's the difference. Like Suicide Squad was like, hey, we need to have an ensemble movie with all these characters. Okay, pick a bunch of characters that no commenter knows anything about. Okay, write the script. It's 6 weeks, fine. Boom, send that out. 6 weeks that script was written. It's not good.
But I am hoping that it's a gem.
Yeah,
of a movie, because the trailer for it looks great, and I think if it does well, they'll do more. They'll do more in its series.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah. I don't know what company is distributing it or who owns it or whatever, but if it does well, I think they're like, okay, got one of them franchise people are talking about as they rub their palms together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know anything beyond it, but I'm like, okay, this is not exactly what I thought. Mm-hmm. As everyone keeps talking about the Dark Tower and how good it is, but yeah, I'm game. I'll buy a ticket. I'll go see it.
Yeah, I definitely will too.
Every time. Okay, here's the other thing. Every time I hear Stephen King, I think horror.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he is.
He is definitely the master of suspense. Carrie and The Shining and all that shit. But I think Misery. Yeah, Misery is one of his. But you kind of forget. Oh yeah, he wrote The Green Mile.
Yeah.
And he wrote Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
And The Dark Tower. And I think there's another movie in there I'm totally blanking on. But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's interesting. Because I hear Stephen King, I think, oh, someone's gonna get murdered,
right,
by something weird. By fucking creepy twins.
Very true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it goes to show that he's just a very good writer.
Oh, It.
Yeah, there you go.
Son of a bitch is gonna get some major checks this year.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking through his books right now. Cujo, I forgot about that.
Stand By Me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Holy
I love that
shit.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently that's a story by Stephen King. There you go, another not horror movie.
Yeah, not a horror movie, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen King has a wide range of writing skills. I mean...
Yeah, he does. He does. I did not see what he thought of the trailer for the Dark Tower, but...
Yeah, I don't know if... I haven't seen anything about it as well. God, he wrote Lawnmower Man?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, I did not realize that.
He plays one of the creepiest characters that just randomly shows up on Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, there's an accident. They accidentally kill someone. Mm-hmm. There's a fight, and this person stumbles down stairs and breaks her neck.
Mm-hmm.
So they call him up, and he's basically a cleaner.
Oh, God.
So he gets rid of bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he comes in, and he moves kind of robotic, just very stiff, and just kind of looks around everything. And he just says a couple of words, and he says, "How good's the drainage on that sludge sink?" And pretty good. Okay. Couple hours. And that's all he says. Comes back up from the basement where he's taking care of everything. He says, "It's done." And they had him a wad of cash, and he says, "That's all we have. Take anything else you want." And he looks around, literally with his whole body, kind of looks around, grabs this weird statue thing and this other thing, and then just walks out. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's not creepy, right?
No, it's not. But whatever. I mean, he's also he was a big, go Harry Potter guy. Mm-hmm. He wrote a lot of the reviews of the books.
All right.
And, he said, it's a good thing. Kids are reading these. These are good things. Stop condemning it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Dark Tower, probably something I might be picking up.
Yeah, definitely want to go see it. Because it looks like it'll be dope.
Read it and then go see it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll bother my brother for the book.
and then be one of them dumbass fans who goes, "Oh, it wasn't like in the book. This happened."
Yeah.
I feel like if you weren't reading the book since '82, you don't really get grounds to be that guy.
No, that's true.
I'd agree. Agree with you, Shane.
I was that guy at the 7th Harry Potter movies, so because I was that guy.
As long as you start it, right? Like,
yeah, but yeah, definitely looking forward to the Dark Tower.
Me too, man.
And I'm also looking forward to tomorrow and Friday because it won't be fucking 95 in my room.
God, I'll be happy when it's not that hot. We should probably wrap it up there, gents.
Yeah, we gotta.
this is a good one.
Yeah, what is what this was? Okay.
Thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, and if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all this stuff.
Yeah, show your friends it.
Yeah, say, hey, listen to these 3 idiots.
Literally like that. I will not take offense.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go melt somewhere. Later.
Yeah, later, guys.
Later days.